Next case, Congressman Byron Donalds, Republican from Florida, joins me now. Sir, the House votes on funding DHS today. Are they going to be, the Republicans, are they going to be on board on a deal that does not fully fund ICE?
I'm not voting for that. Stu, let's be very clear. I got to correct your reporter. The Senate didn't vote last night. It was 2 a.m. There were 5 senators on the floor. They moved this by voice vote, which means Senate leadership, Republican and Democrat, agreed that everybody was just going to stay in their beds while 5 people moved this package without ICE and CBP. I find this to be very disgusting, and it abdicates the responsibility that United States senators have been given by the people in their states. A lot of times people are saying, how come Washington never gets anything done? Stuart, let me tell you the facts. The truth is, in the House, we move a lot of policy. And there's a lot of things that actually do not get a vote on the floor of the House because we know there is no will in the Senate to actually clear the filibuster. That is the problem. It's always the problem. So they did this BS in the cover of darkness while everybody's asleep, and then America's saying, well, what's the House going to do? My position is fund all of Homeland Security, because the Democrats realized they overplayed their hand because now they have long lines in most airports in America because they want to play politics because they hate Donald Trump. That's what's really going on. Number 2, here's the real truth, America. ICE is funded through 2029 because we funded it through budget reconciliation last year. So we've been dealing with these games, Democratic political games, and Senate Republican leadership let them off the hook by doing a voice vote at 2 a.m. I'm a no. We'll see what they come up with today.
So if it's a defeat today in the House, then what? What happens?
The Senate needs to get back on a plane and come back. You can't just you can't move a voice vote at 2 a.m. Every senator goes on their long vacation so they can do their codels, their fundraisers, or whatever they got going on, and then just say, we did our job, we're leaving. No, you didn't. You didn't do your job. They have a responsibility to fund the Department of Homeland Security. They did a partial funding. And let's be very clear, the Democrats, it's not just TSA. It has been Coast Guard. It has been customs agents. Things that protect the homeland, they refused to do it, and in the cover of darkness, they ran away. That's what's wrong with this town. That's why people are frustrated with Washington, D.C., and most of our problems on Capitol Hill are found in the United States Senate.
Okay, I'll move on.
What's going on? What's going on, Patriots? You just locked in the hood politics where we always keep it 100. I'm your host, Jay. Y'all already know on this channel. We cut straight through the BS and get straight to the issues and the policies that hit us close to home. We talk about everything from elections to national debates, all the way up to political podcasts. We throw some comedy and some pop culture in there every once in a while, because y'all know my motto: all politics all the time. I give you brain rot. That's why I do it, so you don't have to. We start each and every one of them off sending out our thoughts and prayers. And I want to keep in our thoughts and prayers Sheridan Gurman and her family. And I want to start this off by saying, man, listen up, man. I'm pissed. If you think Senator Byron Donald was pissed, that's nothing to how I'm feeling right now, Patriots. So, yesterday morning, while I was making that TikTok video explaining to everybody how Donald Trump has basically checkmated the Democrat Party, this was right before I was going to work, so this had to be about, I leave out around 5:15. So about 5 o'clock. So apparently 2 hours before that, while everybody was sleeping, 40 minutes before I got up at 3 a.m., we were being betrayed by Republican senior leadership, what's his name, John Thune, whatever his name is. See, Donald Trump had checkmated the Democrat Party by basically getting ready to sign an executive order to have Homeland Security pay TSA agents. And the only way the Dems was going to be able to stop that or to take him to court and find some type of liberal judge to stop that. Now, some people say they would have did it. I don't know if they would have did it. I think they stupid enough to do it, honestly, because they don't know how to govern. So I think they stupid enough to do it. But that would have been political suicide. That would have killed him in the midterms coming up. Would have been over with. So they had no choice. And then once they would have let that ride, what would that have done? That would have opened the door for Donald Trump to sign executive orders to pay all the rest of the federal agencies. So we had him in check. It was checkmate. You got one move. Either capitulate or pull your mask off to the rest of the people who are blindly following along. So I'm not happy right now. Not at all. Senator Mike Johnson, he's pissed. And see, this is why I don't like the Republican Party. This is why I'm not a Republican, and this is why I don't like the Republican Party. They all have to go. How do you take a W? How do you take a W and turn it into a L? All because you want to go on vacation and fundraise and bang your secretary. I'm just playing. I don't know if he banged his secretary or not. That was a joke. But only a Republican would take a W and turn it into an L. This is why I do not like the Republican Party. This is the exact reason why right here. This is why I have more respect. I don't like the Democrats, but I respect them. Because they'll get out there and burn your whole city down for their little goofy beliefs. The Republicans will be dead right and straight back down. They'll be dead right, 100% right, and have the support from the American people and still turn around and walk away. We can't have leaders like that represent us. We can't.
House Majority Whip Tom Emmett joins me now. Congressman, TSA will get paid. Does that mean the airport problem will disappear rapidly?
Well, Stuart, great to be with you, but that remains to be seen. When you say quickly, it's what is your definition of quickly? I think the most important thing to recognize is that these poor people, the agency, Homeland Security, because of these radical left-wing anarchist Democrats, literally has been shut down for almost half the fiscal year, Stuart. These people haven't been getting paid for almost half the fiscal year. So we've lost TSA agents. This is affecting TSA. It's affecting the Border Patrol. It's affecting the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It's affecting the Coast Guard. It's much bigger than TSA. But yes, the lines have been awful, and hopefully that will dissipate quickly.
Congressman, earlier this morning, Congressman Byron Donalds, a Republican from Florida, whom I'm sure you know well, he told us he was a no vote in the House today. Are you?
Well, actually, I'll start out with our speaker is very unhappy. I'm not happy. Our whole leadership group, what the Senate did was, frankly, not right. We are going to make sure that border is funded. This is about making sure that President Trump's number one promise was that the border was going to be secure. He's accomplished with Republican leadership incredible things with the southern border. It has never been as tight as it is right now. But we are not going to allow these radical, anarchist, Marxist, socialist Democrats to literally stop or create an open border situation again,
crazy,
like we experienced under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And we're going to make sure that we continue to deport criminal, illegal aliens. This is what Americans want.
If there is a no vote
Facts.
in the House
That's what
today,
I voted for.
Does that mean that the Senate has to come back to do it all over again?
The House will have a solution. That's as much as I can tell you. There'll be more on that very shortly. I think the leadership team with the Speaker has been working through this. Again, they did this at 3 in the morning, Stuart. Yep. Instead of doing it in the light of day when all of America can watch what's going on, they did this procedural move early in the morning. By the way, it sets dangerous precedents going forward. If you could take appropriations bills and start to take out pieces that you don't like, this will never end. So we're working through it in the House. We will have a solution, and the Speaker will announce it, hopefully within the next hour or so.
I'd like to hear it.
That's insane, man. We need to vote these people out. That's what I'm talking about. And you know what? I wish the rhinos and the dinos would go to their respective party. I would like to see how that worked for a change. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Elizabeth Warrens and like, I'll take John Fetterman right now over any one of the rhinos we got right now. I'll take John Fetterman. But this is crazy, man. Let's hear Mike Johnson. He ain't finna play no game. He pissed.
And speaking right now is House Speaker Mike Johnson. Let's listen in. Thanks so much, Casey.
Anytime.
Long day, but we just had a very fruitful, almost 2-hour conference call with all the House Republicans, and we have a united group. Let me just be completely unequivocal and put this out here in the open and in the beginning here to make clear the Republicans are not going to be any part of any effort to reopen our borders or to stop immigration enforcement. We are going to deport dangerous criminal illegal aliens because it is a basic function of the government. The Democrats fundamentally disagree. The Senate Democrats have hoisted upon this appropriations process their radical, crazy agenda. We call it crazy because that's what it is. They want to reopen the borders, and they want to stop the deportation of dangerous criminal illegal aliens. We have to do these basic functions of government. We have to fund them in order to do them. In the last several days, we have recent examples of dangerous criminals in this country killing innocent Americans. We had an 18-year-old college student in Chicago, a young lady who was shot in the back by a dangerous criminal who had been released in that sanctuary city and first released at the border under Joe Biden.
Rest in peace, Sheridan.
They opened the border wide for 4 years. Just yesterday, or in the last 36 hours or so, an 83-year-old man's pushed onto the subway tracks and run over by a dangerous criminal illegal alien. This has to stop. The Republicans are not going to be a party to this. They have taken hostage the...
Wait, what? What did he just say? Because I haven't heard that. I haven't seen that. I'm going to have to look into that, man. Did he? Wait, what? And I bet you that happened in New York. I bet you that happened in New York. That's the only place people get really pushed on the train tracks, man. That's crazy. I did not know. I got to look that up, Patriots.
Illegal alien. This has to stop. The Republicans are not going to be a party to this. They have taken hostage the funding processes of government so that they can impose their radical agenda on the American people when we can't have any part of it. This gambit that was done last night is a joke. I'm quite convinced that it can't be that every Senate Republican read the language of this bill, and I'm going to just read you one excerpt of it because it's pretty alarming, and it says everything that you need to know in Section 4. This is on page 2 of the bill. This is an actual copy of the bill. That excerpt. It says, quote, "The contents printed under the headings of this bill, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Border Security Operations, under the heading of U.S. Customs and Border Patrol and Protection, shall have no force or effect for purposes of this act, and amounts specified in the final bill under the subheading Border Security Operations and under the heading U.S. Customs and Border Protection and under the headings of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in the Department of Homeland Security shall be zero." We're not doing that. And it is unconscionable to me that the Democrats would force some sort of negotiation at 3 o'clock in the morning and try to hoist this upon the American people and then get on their jets and go home for their holiday and pretend and think that we're going to go along with that. So we're going to do something different. We're going to do the responsible thing. Republicans are going to continue to govern and do the right thing morally, legally, and politically. We are going to take care of those who take care of us. The employees in the Department of Homeland Security have gone without funding and without paychecks for 42 days. It's the second longest shutdown in U.S. history, bested only by the longest shutdown in U.S. history that these same radical Democrats hoisted upon the government in the fall of last year. 42 days they've gone without pay. We've had, by some estimates, close to 500 TSA agents who have resigned from their jobs, and who could blame them? They've gone half the fiscal year without a regular paycheck. We can't ask that of anyone. And the lines around the airlines and at the airports have been wrapped around the buildings because of all this turmoil. We are very grateful to have a strong commander-in-chief in the White House who has taken real leadership. President Trump has already ordered by executive order that TSA agents will be paid, and that machinery is in process right now. The Office of Management and Budget is working through that to make sure that that happens, and we will reduce the lines and the waits at the airlines, and we'll make sure that those who are protecting us are paid. But what we are going to present...
So Trump didn't put them back in checkmate. So now they got to, if they don't go and find a judge and stop Trump executive order, then that's just going to tell Trump that he can pay FEMA and the Border Patrol executive order. So he put them back in check. So let's see what happened after that. You know what I mean? I'm salty as hell. I'm going to keep it real with you. John Thune is a traitor. Most of the rhinos. And we need to drain the swamp. We got to drain the swamp, people, man. Hey, like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on TikTok, Hood Politics 5.1. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop a new video. This your boy Jay from Hood Politics checking in. And now I'm checking out. Y'all know how we do it.